Welcome back to Boomstick Barbecue. Today we have something special, something I've never had, not this particular type anyway. We have some Snake River Farms Wagyu beef ribs. Look at that. Beautiful marbling in there. It's about 7 pounds of delicious Wagyu beef. Now I've done beef ribs like this before, plate ribs, but never Wagyu. So today we're going to do some Wagyu, and I'm excited. We have to do a little bit of trimming here. You can see that there's some silver skin there, and there's some fat. We want to get all that off because the rub won't stick to fat. And with short ribs, it's very key to get a good bark on them. So we're going to go ahead and trim this up, and then we're going to season it with some good seasoning. And we're going to get it on the smoker today. So stay tuned for Boomstick Barbecue. We got these trimmed up. I mean, they're gorgeous. Look at the marbling in here. I just can't get over how beautiful these things look and how good they are going to taste. I've never seen marbling like that on any type of beef rib. Look at that corner. Man. So what we got to do is we got to rub it up. The egg's coming up to temp. We're going to cut the rub on here, let it sit for a couple minutes. First thing I like to do is take a little bit of Worcestershire. For beef, I like this. Kind of helps it stick. You can use mustard, you can use anything. I like the mustard for pork, but I like the Worcestershire for the beef ribs and for brisket. We're going to use one of my new favorite beef rubs, Bullshit. This stuff is great. They have one for chicken, one for everything, but I'm telling you, this right here is some of the best beef rub ever. So let's get it going. Now we're not going to put any rub on the bottom. We don't need to. It's not going to stick and it's not going to go through that membrane. One note, don't cut the membrane. The membrane holds everything together. Otherwise it'll all just fall apart. So leave the membrane on these beef ribs together. We're going to let this rub sit on there for a few minutes while the egg finalizes its temperature. And we're going to throw them on and get to cooking. Alright. The egg is up to about 275, which is what I'm trying to do, between 250 and 275. The rub's sticking nice, looks good. Let's put her on. Take her right over. Right there we go, about 275. We're just gonna lay them in. And we're gonna let them cook. We'll see you in a little while. Man, we gotta check those ribs real quick, see where we're at. Temperature's a little higher than I'd like. Let's see what we got here. It's been about 4 hours. Let's check this temperature. Looking to be about 165, 170. Got a little bit more time to go. All right, so we're about that time that needs to wrap. Let's take a quick look at these bad boys. Oh, and they look good. Look at that juice. That looks great. They've been smoking for about 5.5 hours. And what we need to do now is we need to wrap them in some butcher paper to just finish them off. Oh, that smell is incredible. We're gonna wrap these bad boys up. We're going to throw them back on there, and we're about 90% done, so we're only going to wrap for the last 10%. We're going to throw it back on the egg, and it's going to be great. Sneak peek, they're done. We already looked a little bit. I know the wrap doesn't look that great, but I was in there checking them. But, oh boy, probe tender, and the temperature is right on the money. Give it a second. My digital thermometer died today because it left out in the rain 17 times. We are right on the money. Where we want to be, right in those 90s, those upper 90s, and it is probe tender. I mean, in and out. Looking real good. Look at that temperature. See that temperature right there? Right on the money. So we're gonna go ahead and take these things off and let them rest for a little while. We're gonna pop them on there. And we have a smoked mac and cheese going on. I don't have a video on that yet, but I will. We're gonna smoke some mac and cheese next, and tonight's dinner is gonna be good. We've been swimming all day. We've been having a good time. It's the middle of summer. Best time to do some barbecue. And these ribs are done. Total cook 5 hours, 5.5-ish. Been resting for about an hour. And there we go. Look at that. I mean, that is about as perfect as can be. Looks delicious. We have to portion these out. I'm gonna go ahead and just eat as much as I can. I'll portion the rest out for my guests, but you know, they want a little bit. So let's bring it out and put it on the board. Let's cut it into one of these bad boys and see what we got. That looks awfully juicy to me. Oh, yeah, a little bit. Let's just taste this little piece right here and see what we got. A little bit of membrane on there. I'm gonna trim that off. Tastes like pure happiness. There's not many things in the world that taste that good, have that kind of, you know, velvety texture once you take a bite. Oh. I'm telling you right now, the Snake River Farms Wagyu beef ribs, worth every penny. And beef ribs, if you can get them cut like this, oh, always do them. So good, so tasty, so juicy. The bark is perfect. Everything's perfect. Oh, thank you for tuning in to Boomstick Barbecue. We can't wait to see you next time when we do another special recipe like this one.